Have you ever been in a conversation where you laid out every fact, every stat, every crystal clear reason why your idea makes sense, and still the other person just wasn't buying it? You probably walked away wondering, like, what else do they need? Like, it's all right there. Yeah, I've been there a lot. What I've learned, especially while building and promoting Blakebill, is this: logic is rarely the deal breaker. People don't cling to beliefs because they haven't seen the right facts. They hold on to beliefs because those ideas feel safe, familiar, and tied to their identity. You can bring the sharpest data to the table, but if the other person feels like accepting your idea means becoming something that they're not or losing a sense of their belonging, well, that fact sheet might as well be blank. So, facts don't change minds, at least not on their own. Let's dig into why, and more importantly, what actually works instead. Beliefs are about belonging. The root of the problem isn't information, it's identity. When you question someone's deeply held belief, what you're really doing, whether you mean to or not, is challenging their sense of self. And think about it. Our ideas, our work relationships, politics, health, don't float in a vacuum. They're shaped by our own experiences, the people we trust, the communities that we're actually a part of. Changing a belief doesn't feel like switching a browser tab. It feels like walking away from your tribe. That's why it's so hard to get someone to change their mind in a Facebook debate or even a friendly disagreement. Even if your argument is airtight, the social and emotional cost of admitting I might be wrong can be steep. It's not just about logic, it's about losing face. It's about losing comfort, it's about losing connection. And that's a big ask, and one pure logic can't overcome on its own. So when I launched Blakebill.com, I thought the value was obvious. Freelancers were constantly getting stiffed on payments, so I built a tool that flipped the power dynamic. Clients pay before they download the file, then boom. No more chasing invoices, no more late night Venmo nudges. It's just clean, instant transactions. I expect a lot of people to love it, and some did, but a lot of people just hesitated. I had all the stats to back up why it worked. I had the testimonials, I had the success stories, even data on how much money freelancers typically use each year from unpaid work. Still, pushback was real, and it took me a while to actually understand why. It wasn't that people didn't understand Blakebill, it was that using it required them to think differently about their work. It meant putting up a boundary, saying, you can't get this until I get paid. For freelancers used to over-delivering, being endlessly flexible, and keeping clients happy at all costs, this wasn't just a new tool, it was a new mindset, and for many, that felt scary. So what I thought was a logical upgrade was actually an identity shift. I was asking them to stop playing the please pay me game and start acting like a business. And that's not a small thing. And no number of stats could make that feel comfortable overnight. Stories move people, not stats. So when you hit a wall trying to change someone's mind, it's easy to assume you need more data, a stronger case, a better slide deck. But I've learned that what you really need is just a better story. People don't respond to numbers, they respond to narratives. They want to see themselves in the outcome. They want to feel like they're not the only one taking a risk. So I started talking less like a sales pitch and more like a friend telling a story. Instead of Blakebill helps freelancers collect payments 2.5 times faster, I'd say one of our users is a wedding photographer. She used to wait 2 weeks to get paid. Now she sends files with Blakebill and she gets her money in 5 minutes. No chasing, no stress. And she said it's the most professional thing she's ever felt. It's the same core idea, but it lands totally differently. Another shift that I had to make was focusing on emotional safety. Most people aren't looking for airtight facts. They're scanning for social permission. Asking, will I look dumb if I try this? Will my peers think I've sold out or lost touch? Will this make me feel like a different person? And that's why I started positioning Blakebill as not just a smarter payment tool, but a way to protect your time and value without feeling pushy. I framed it as a quiet form of professionalism, something that helped me get what they deserve without the drama. Because the truth is, people don't need you to be right. They need you to feel safe enough to consider that they might be wrong, but still okay. Because the truth is, people don't need you to be right. They need to feel safe enough to consider that they might be wrong, and that still be okay. So how do you actually change minds? Here's what I found works better than arguing. 1, lead with empathy, not ego. Don't open with, you're wrong. Open with, I get why you feel this way. People open up when they feel seen. 2, start where they are. Speak their language. Align on shared goals. If someone sees you as an ally, they'll listen. If they see you as a threat, they'll resist, even if you're right. 3, tell better stories. Replace stats with real life examples. Make it personal. Make it visual. Show them what it looks like after they've made the shift. Then 4, lower the stakes. Instead of change everything, say, try this once. Let people test the waters before they actually dive in. And 5, be patient. No one changes their mind instantly. You're planting seeds, not flipping switches. Respect the process. Logic is the spark, but connection is the fire. I still love facts. I still geek out on a good case study every now on a clean chart. But I've stopped expecting data alone to carry the weight. Logic opens the door, but emotion walks people through it. Whether you're building a product, pitching a project, or just trying to get your friend to stop microwave drying their jeans, you got to remember that change is personal and it's emotional. It's social. And if you're someone trying to get paid on time for the work that you already did, Blakebill is here for that. There's no hard sell, there's no pressure. It's a tool that's just wanting you to make the shift when you're ready. Sometimes the smartest thing you can do is help people feel before you ask them to think.